question, mate. Are you not listening to me? Do you want me to explain it again? I'll explain it again.
No. I don't want to.
You hear it first, I'll explain it again. This time, you're very good at talking down to people, but when someone who is as vocally strong as you talks back, it's actually harder. So, you asked me, what? Altruism. How to explain altruism? I told you. Hundreds of thousands of years of helping people who are close to you, because it would benefit you when they help you back, is now in a globalist world, so we have a hangover of this, right? So now we have primal urges to help others in need because it actually benefited us hundreds of thousands of years ago. That is the answer to your question. That's what I said before, and I'll say it again. Do you want me to repeat it again? That's the justification.
Okay. Wait.
Sorry. Wait. Can I just add to what he's saying? I'm not going to interrupt.
One sec.
Just to add to
Wait. Hang on. Let me answer your thing. I can only have one conversation, one person at a time. What you're referring to is known as reciprocal altruism, right? And reciprocal altruism, and there's another theory in genetics, right? Both of these, they break down when you help people that you're not related to. Now, the claim that this is an evolutionary hangover, I want you to justify that claim, because you're just you're adding a label to a mystery.
What evidence can I give you that would make you agree with it?
Well, you'd have to give some genetic evidence.
Genetic evidence? I'm talking
you're speaking about genes, correct?
I'm talking about hangovers of evolution. These things exist in our genes.
Sir, you study genetics, right? Does natural selection work at genetic level?
Yes.
Okay, it does. So doesn't that mean that every single social aspect of our behavior has to be explicable in terms of survival and reproduction?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that. It does not mean that.
Sir, even if you call it an evolutionary byproduct, fundamentally it has to be survival and reproduction. Correct?
Why?
Because you just said it a minute ago.
No, I didn't. I'm answering your question.
You said it was an evolutionary hangover.
I said altruism is an evolutionary hangover. I didn't. Now you're saying every single behavior in human history.
No. Okay.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to fall into your traps of semantics.
Okay.
I'm not silly.
Okay.
I'm not silly. You answered my question.
Okay. Altruism is
altruism
is the evolutionary hangover.
Yes.
Okay. How do you know that?
What do you mean? How do I know that? I don't know the answer. What did you? I would like to hear from him.
Wait, don't go to him. Don't go to him.
I said, what evidence
How
would you
did you
hear?
get to that?
What evidence? Because I'm well read on the topic. What evidence would you have? What evidence would you hear? What would be okay for you? Because my explanation was okay for you before. Why isn't my explanation okay?
I want you to give me a testable hypothesis which
testable hypothesis?
Yeah, you came.
You're talking about anti-evolutionary behavior when you're not talking about testable hypothesis.
Okay. Wait, hang on a second. Raising your voice doesn't improve your argument.
No, I agree. I agree with that.
You agree with that? That's fantastic. So let me just make a claim, and I want you to shoot it down if I'm wrong. This claim of yours, that altruism is explicable by Darwinian processes, is challenged by evolutionary biologists.
Not good ones.
Okay, so let me give you one good one, and I'll give you another good one.
Okay, good.
And if you don't think they're good enough, then you challenge them, not me.
Okay.
Professor Dennis Noble at Oxford, he's an atheist, and he's an evolutionary biologist.
Oh, atheist.
Right? Because it's a religion. Now, this is what he says. He says the selfish gene idea is false, and he says it is not even falsifiable. Okay. Next. Another evolutionary thinker, he's a philosopher of science, David Stove, again another atheist. He's written a whole book challenging the selfish gene idea and human altruism, the way it's explained by Darwinists. And his book is called Darwinian Fairytales. And what he says is this: Darwinists claim all human social interactions, including the behavior of altruism, fundamentally, whether you call it a hangover or not, is explicable in terms of survival and reproduction, and he says it's false.
Do these people that you quoted believe in evolution?
They believe in some evolutionary processes.
I think you're navigating my question. Do you think they believe in evolution by natural selection?
Okay, wait, hang on. Professor,
you're quoting, do they believe in it? Yes or no?
Can I answer?
Yes, you can.
Professor Dennis Noble, he doesn't believe in evolution by natural selection as a creative force. He believes in alternative mechanisms such as evolution by natural genetic engineering. Professor
by creative force, what do you mean? I'm not aware of that.
Sorry?
You said natural selection by creative force.
No. Natural selection, not natural selection, evolution by natural genetic engineering. He believes in that mechanism. It's an alternative mechanism to Darwinism.
Again, I feel like my question hasn't been answered, so I'll ask it again.
No. Your question has been answered. I don't think you actually understood what I was saying.
I didn't, that's why I asked again. So
your claim that Darwinism explains all aspects of human behavior, including... Okay, fine. It explains altruism. That's what you claim, right?
I think it does, yes.
That's being challenged by evolutionary atheist biologists. That's what I'm saying.
Around the world, yeah.
So that's all I'm saying.
And I think that there are many evolutionary biologists who are right.
But you said it's fact.
Yeah, you said it's fact.
Prove it.
People challenge...
Okay, one second. One conversation at a time. Relax.
There are people in the world that think the Earth's flat, right? That doesn't mean that it's not fact that it's not.
Wait, hang on. Hang on.
We know the answer.
Hang on.
It's easier than Darwinism to say
wait, sir. You can't make the equivocation between the selfish gene idea and the shape of the Earth.
No, but he said the fact that people challenge it means that it isn't a fact. So I gave him an analogy.
No. Sir, can I complete, please?
Yeah.
Sorry, one second.
I think that evolution's a fact, yeah.
Okay. The fact of the matter is this. Your claim about the selfish gene explaining altruism is something which is not even accepted in evolutionary circles amongst atheists.
When you say accepted, you're actually taking a few people and saying that the scientific community writ large is not accepting it, which actually isn't true.
Wait, hang on.
I think your conclusion, I have less of a problem with that than I do with your overall conclusion that one little part of it's false, therefore all of it's wrong. And that's just simply not true, okay? Because you can't provide me anything that's an alternative that provides more of the data and explains more of it. You're basically being like a god of the gap, so to speak. So there's
no, it's not.
Hole that maybe a few people disagree with, therefore all falls down.
Okay. Do you know what? It's not this at all. Do you believe, what alternatives are you aware of to Darwinian evolution?
To explain what?
All the data of evolution.
Sorry, are you asking me what is the best explanation of evolution? Darwinian.
What are the alternatives to the Darwinian mechanism of evolution? By natural selection.
Alternatives for creation of the Earth, you mean, or what? Or what do you mean by alternatives?
We have the process of evolution.
Yes.
Right. That process has different mechanisms. Right. So you believe that the scientific community at large, in your own words, they accept the Darwinian evolution. Yes. Right. What alternatives are you aware of?
Well, I'm aware of like creationism and other religious...
There you go. Yeah. Forget that for now. What naturalistic alternatives are you aware of?
I'd like to hear from them.
Okay. There's evolution and all of these were put together by evolutionary biologists who are atheists. They don't believe in intelligent design. They don't believe in creationism. They don't believe in anything like that. And they've taken the same data and they've come up with a different interpretation. Evolution by natural genetic engineering, put together by James Shapiro. Neo-Lamarckian evolution, which is put together by Eva Jablonka. Neo-mutationism, put together by Masayoshi Nai from Japan. Lynn Margulis, symbiotic evolution in terms of alternatives, not the origin of eukaryotic cells. And evolution by self-organization, put together by Stuart Kauffman. All of these guys are atheists, and they don't believe natural selection explains biodiversity and human behavior.
So what conclusion are you drawing from that?
My conclusion is, this is something not set in stone. Darwinian evolution. It's not something set in stone.
But evolution is though, but it's not Darwinian evolution. Is that what you're saying?
Evolution has many different meanings.
Yeah,
right?
you just told me 6 of them.
No. These are models. There's a difference.
Yeah.
There's two things here. Whenever we look at evolutionary theory, there's two particular parts of evolutionary theory. There is a history, a phylogenetic reconstruction they try and make, and there is a mechanism by which that phylogenetic reconstruction took place. Okay? Now, in terms of the mechanism of evolution, we have many different alternatives. In terms of the history of life, Lamarck, who published his book decades before Darwin, he believed in multiple origins and parallel lines of evolution, and he believed in progression, right? Charles Darwin, he believed in universal common descent. Okay? Now, I don't accept any of them, because all science can do is give you workable models which are then falsified. So I'll accept any of them as working models, but I won't say that they're true in the literal sense. That's all my position is.
So what would you say is true in a literal sense?
I would say science. That's not the realm of science. Science doesn't give you literal
that's fine.
truth.
But what is, in your belief, what is true in a literal sense?
For me, as a Muslim,
Yes.
I would say belief in God,
Okay,
belief
but
in
on the-
objective morals.
on the creation of life. What is the truth in a literal sense?
For me, it is literally true for me that God created all life on earth.
Did it create it in a complex form, or did it create a single organism which then evolved into the diversity of life on earth as we know it now?
Okay, as a Muslim, number one thing, we are told in the Quran, do not talk about what you don't know. So in terms of Islam, in terms of creation, there's a lot of silence, right? For example, in the Bible it says God created many different kinds, and those kinds are immutable, which is why, for example, they believe that, species cannot change. Species is a bit of a tricky issue because we have 26 different definitions, but they believe it can't change. Now, we as Muslims, we believe God created life. We believe that God is the originator of all of the natural laws.
Okay, yeah.
But in terms of particulars about, for example, is the whale linked to a land mammal? As a Muslim, I can't say yes or no, theologically.
Okay.
Right? But in terms of human-chimpanzee relationship, Islam makes it clear there's none.
There's none.
Okay?
Okay, so basically you're saying that it is a complex, so that life was created complex. Because you either say that chimpanzees evolved from a different ancestor than humans did, if you assume that evolution is possible, or you just say that humans came into being as humans already.
No, I believe human beings came as they were.
As they are now.
How you can prove it?
Now,
do you think fossils are false or made up?
Okay.
Can you explain?
No fossil, and this is according to paleontologists.
Of course it is. Yeah.
No fossil can be shown to be a non-human primate ancestor. All they have is speculation based upon homology. Okay, that's all they have.
Non-human primate ancestor.
A non-human primate ancestor.
No fossil can.
So, for example, whether you have Lucy, you have Homo naledi, whatever you have, is speculation. That's all you have.
What do you mean by speculation? Like that? Like Lucy isn't. What do you mean? I don't understand.
Lucy is not an ancestor of human beings. That's a speculation.
What, based on who says it's speculation?
Okay.
And what is it?
The claim that any fossil, whether it's Lucy, Homo naledi, Homo erectus, whatever, is linked to a human being. There's several problems here. Number one, according to atheist evolutionary biologists, paleontologists, no fossil can be shown to be another one's ancestor purely because it doesn't come with a birth certificate. Henry Gee, here at King's Cross, we have the Nature Journal, right, which you must be aware of. The senior editor of Nature, Henry Gee, who's an atheist and a paleontologist, this is what he says. He says to take a line of fossils and to claim ancestry is not a scientific hypothesis which can be tested, but a bedtime story, right? And he says it's impossible to link one thing to another in terms of fossils. Secondly, there is the claim of homology, right? Now, homology, I don't have a problem if somebody says, I believe in homology and I believe in universal common ancestry based on homology. But they need to realize that claim is based on a probabilistic framework which has Bayesian, which is based on Bayesian decomposition with 9 mathematical assumptions, which has conceptual problems such as homoplasy, and they are still further conceptual problems that they have to deal with. So my position is very, very clear. When it comes to science, you can't talk with something with certainty in the remote past. But coming here to this speaker's corner, people speak about scientific conclusions as if they're written in stone. And that's the view I'm challenging. I agree with you, science gives you workable models which are then falsified. I don't believe it to be useless. I don't believe it to be wrong. I believe it's the beauty of science that conclusions can change. For example, we used to believe that the universe was like a clockwork, as a mathematical universe, right? Time and space were assumed to be fixed. And based upon Newtonian mechanics, you could say there's going to be that trajectory on this particular day and it's going to be there. And it was there. Then Einstein came along and he showed, although Newton and his theories worked for 200 years, they turned out to be not true in the absolute sense, right? and he showed, general relativity, and the background assumptions which were based upon, which were used to base the Newtonian model on, were actually, according to Newton, false. Time and space were relative. Gravity was not a pulling force, but it was a pushing force due to space-time curvature. So look, science, it's the beauty of science is conclusions can change. There's nothing wrong with it. That's the way it's supposed to work. What I don't believe in is scientism, which is to take the conclusions of science and to then make them into generalizations and say that this is gonna, it's set in stone. And philosophers of science understand this. They understand that all science can do is give you workable models, and just because something works, it doesn't mean it's true. For example, a philosopher of science in Texas, Larry Loudon, he put together a philosophical paper of 30 empirically successful theories, which were giving you predictions which were confirmed again and again and again and again, which then turned out to be false.